I've said it so many times, I don't have the strength to say it again.
So many times, I don't have the strength to say it again.
I've been telling the same story, trying to make it make sense. Every word feels like a defense, every tear needs an audience. I've explained it to the silence, I've explained it to the crowd, but the more I try to justify, the heavier it shines.
If you hear me without the details, if you know before I speak, then maybe I don't need to carry every reason underneath. I don't have to explain the pain,
You already know.
I don't have to say it perfectly
To be held close,
I don't have to explain the pain.
I can let it go. When my heart runs out of language,
Your love still knows.
I don't have to say.
I don't have to explain the pain,
You already know.
I don't have to say it perfectly
To be held close,
I don't have to explain the perfect.
I can let it go. When my heart runs out of language,
Your love still knows.
I don't have to share.
I don't have to explain, no.
I thought faith meant finding answers, or the right way to describe all the cracks beneath my breathing, all the questions in my mind. But you never asked me for a reason, never stopped to weigh my truth. You just stayed right in the moment, like you always do. If your mercy isn't waiting for my courage to be clear, then this quiet I've been avoiding is where you're drawing near.
I don't have to explain the pain,
You already know.
I don't have to say it perfectly
To be held
I don't have to
close,
explain the pain.
I can let it go. When my heart runs out of language, your love still, your love still knows. Oh,
Lord, I don't know to say no.
I don't have to explain.
I don't have to explain the pain.
I lay down my explanations, every word I tried to frame. If you read between my breathing, I don't need to speak my pain.
Let my worship be my silence.
Let my trust be where I stand.
I don't need to say a thing.
When I'm safe inside your hands, or when I'm quiet,
You hear me,
when I stop,
you hear me,
say it again.
you hear me,
Yeah.
you hear me.
I don't have to explain the
I
pain.
don't have to explain the
You
pain.
already know.
I don't have to explain the
You
pain.
never needed words. When I finally rest my reasons down, your peace begins to flow. I don't have to explain the
I
pain.
don't have to explain the
I'm
pain.
not
I don't have to
alone.
explain the
I'm
pain.
understood and my soul remembers. Love doesn't ask me to explain.
You know,
You know,
you know,
I don't have to say.
you know.
You know. I ran out of explanations, but you stayed close. I've been searching for the right words, trying not to say it wrong. Every prayer feels unfinished, like my courage is gone. I replay the conversation in my head in the dark, but before I even open up, you're already at my heart. If you hear me without speaking, if you see what I conceal, then this fear of being misunderstood is something I can finally use. You already know my heart, you already see. I don't have to explain myself to be held by your mercy. You already know my heart before I start, and that's the place where my healing begins. You already know my heart, you already see. I don't have to explain myself to be held by your mercy. You already know my heart before I start, and that's the place where my healing begins. You already know my heart. I thought faith meant finding language strong enough to make you stay, but you never needed speeches. You were near me anyway. Every sigh became a signal, every tear a quiet plea, and you answered all my questions just by staying next to me. If your love is not persuaded by the words I try to choose, then this silence I've been fighting is the place I'm safe with you. You already know my heart, you already see. Don't have to explain myself to be held by your mercy. You already know my heart before I start. Oh, that's the place where my healing begins. I laid down my need to clarify every thought I couldn't say. If you read me like a letter, I don't need to find a way. Let my worship be my breathing, let my trust be where I stand. I don't need to tell my story when it's written in your hand. When I'm quiet, you know, I'm unsure, say it again, you know. You already know my heart, you don't ask for proof. You already know my heart. When I stop explaining who I am, you love me where I stand. You already know my heart. I'm safe with you. You already know my heart. And my soul remembers being known as grace enough. You know me. You've always known. I can't rest. My heart is home. I don't have the words tonight, but I'm still here. I've been searching for a sentence strong enough to ease the ache Every thought keeps falling short, every phrase begins to break. I've explained myself to mirrors, to the dark, to empty rooms, but the quiet keeps reminding me there's nothing left to prove. If you listen past the language, if you hear what breath can't say, then maybe I don't need to fill the space just to feel okay. Silence says enough, you're close to me. I don't have to speak it all for you to see. Silence says enough, you're here with me, and my heart can't rest in what I don't say. Yeah. I thought prayer needed answers, needed clarity and sound, but you keep meeting me in moments when no words can be found. Every sigh becomes a signal, every pause a gentle cry, and you're closer in the stillness than you ever were in why. If your presence doesn't waver when my voice begins to fade, then this quiet I've been fearing is the place where grace remains. Silence says enough, you're close to me. I don't have to speak it all for you to see. Silence says enough, you're here with me, and my heart can rest in what I don't say. I lay down my explanations, every word I tried to frame. If you read between my breathing, I don't need to name the pain. Let my worship be my quiet, let my trust be where I stand.
I don't need to speak my weakness
When you already understand,
when I'm still,
you hear me,
when I pause,
say it again.
you hear me.
Ooh, silence says enough,
You're not distant.
silence says enough.
When my words finally fall away, your presence carries on.
Silence carries on.
I can rest now.
Silence rest now.
I'm not alone, and my soul remembers love was never in the noise. I'm
still, and you're here. I don't have to say a thing. Silence is enough. I came with reason, I'm leaving with trust. I've been stacking up explanation like they keep the doubt away. I've been stacking up explanations like they keep the doubt away. Every answer felt like armor, I will just to make it through the day. I kept rehearsing every detail so I wouldn't fall apart. But the more I tried to justify, the heavier my heart. If you're not asking for conclusions, if you're closer than my proof, then maybe all these reasons are standing in the way of you. Yeah.
I lay down my reasons, I lay them down. I don't need to understand to be held right now.
Yeah.
I lay down my reasons, I lay them down. In your presence, peace is found.
Them down.
Go down,
Yeah.
go down,
Yeah.
and down.
Here.
Here,
I thought faith was finding answers, something solid I could claim. But you keep meeting me in questions, calling me by name. Every reason I kept gripping was a wall I couldn't see. But you're not impressed by arguments, you're moved by honesty. If your love doesn't need convincing,
if your grace is already true,
then this open-handed moment is where I'm safe with you.
I lay down my reasons, I lay them
I
down.
don't need to
I
understand
don't need to understand
to be held right.
right now.
I lay down my reasons.
I lay down my reasons, I lay them down. In your presence, peace is found.
I release the need to justify every fear I try to frame. If you meet me without answers, I don't need to name the pain. Let my worship be my yielding, let my trust be where I stand. I don't need to win the argument when I'm safe inside your hands. When I release,
When I release,
you arrive.
when I stop,
Say it again.
say it again.
You
I lay down my reasons, I make reasons my right. Reason I could stay.
You're here.
You're
You let me down my reason. I can rest now. I'm not alone, and my soul remembers. Faith begins where control is gone. I don't need the answers, I just need you right here. I lay it down. I've been standing on the corner, trying to make believe sound right. Every doubt turns into a courtroom, every prayer becomes a fight. I keep sharpening my reasons, just in case I'm put on trial. But my heart is growing weary from defending every mile.
If your love is not on trial, if your truth doesn't need my voice,
then maybe all this explaining is drowning out your choice. grace. If you're here with me right now, that's enough for my praise. I thought strength meant certainty, never letting questions breathe. But you're not afraid of silence, you're not threatened by my need. Every time I drop my guard down,
You step closer, not away.
like faith was never meant to shout, it was meant to stay.
If your presence speaks for itself, if your mercy stands alone,
then this quiet confidence is the truest faith I've known.
my faith.
Yeah, I'm laying it down.
I don't need to argue, believe to know you're around.
No more defending
My faith,
I'm standing in grace. If you're here with me right now, that's enough for my praise.
I release the need to bow,
Loving now,
surrender.
oh,
Release that need voice,
I don't need
need to shout. Worship be my still.
let my trust be where I stand. I don't need to win the argument when I'm held inside your hand.
When I'm quiet,
You speak,
when I rest,
say it again.
you speak.
You are new.
Defending my faith,
You are enough.
defending my faith,
You stand by me
defending my faith.
when I stop explaining who I am. Your presence speaks for me. I can breathe now.
My faith,
I'm not alone, and my soul remembers.
truth doesn't need a fight to live.
I don't have to prove it. I don't have to shout. You're here.
That's
I don't know how to say it, but you already here. I've been stuck between my feelings and the courage to be clear. Every sentence feels unfinished. Every truth feels hard to hear. I start talking, then I stop myself. Yes, yeah, like silence might betray. All the things I never learned to say keep circling my faith.
keep circling my faith.
Oh, if you listen past my stuttering, if you catch the tears I hide, then maybe I don't need the language to let you inside.
You read between my words, you hear my heart. I don't have to say it all to be where you are. You read between my words,
You always do it. now. I thought prayer meant precision. Finding words that sound like faith. But you keep meeting me in moments, where my voice begins to shake. Every sigh becomes a signal, every pause a quiet plea, and you respond without a question, just by staying close to me.
Your mercy isn't waiting for my story to be clear. And this broken conversation
is enough for you to hear.
You read between my words. You hear my heart. I don't have to say it all to be where you are. You read between my
You always do.
You always do.
Always do. Before I find the courage,
You already moved.
I lay down my explanations, every phrase I couldn't find. If you see what lives between the lines, I can leave the rest behind. Let my worship be my breathing, let my trust be where I stand. I don't need the perfect sentence when I'm hid inside your hand.
Calling as me
You hear me,
when I pause.
you hear me,
You hear me. You read between my words. You read between my words.
You already know
When my language falls apart.
your love still flows.
You read between my words.
I can rest
You
now,
read between my words.
I'm understood.
And my soul remembers
Being hurt
His grace enough.
you hear my heart. Even when I'm quiet, I don't have to explain. You hear me. Ooh. I've been raising all my questions, like they quiet down the fear. Every answer felt temporary, every doubt stayed near. I kept talking through the silence, trying not to lose control. But the more I filled the space with words, the heavier my soul.
If my voice keeps getting louder when my faith is feeling small, then maybe all this explaining isn't trust at all. When trust speaks louder, I don't have to say a thing. I rest my heart in your presence and let the quiet sing. When trust speaks louder, I let the noise fall down. I don't need to fight for certainty. I'm standing on holy ground.
Oh, cause can be louder. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought faith meant strong conviction. convictions, never letting silence stay. But you keep meeting me in moments where there's nothing left to say. Every pause becomes surrender, every breath a quiet prayer. And I'm learning that your nearness doesn't need my words declared.
If your love doesn't need convincing,
if your peace
is not performed,
then this stillness
I've been fearing is where trust speaks form. When trust speaks loud,
oh,
I don't have to say a thing. I rest my heart in your presence
and let the quiet shape pain.
When trust speaks loud,
When trust speaks loud,
let the noise fall down. I don't need to fight for certainty.
I'm standing on holy ground. I lay down the urge to answer every doubt that comes my way. If you're faithful in the waiting, I don't need to have a say.
Let my worship be my listening.
Let my faith learn how to hear.
I don't need to speak it louder
When your voice is already clear. When I'm still,
you speak.
when I rest,
You speak.
say it again.
You speak.
Oh,
When trust speaks louder,
you are enough.
when trust speaks louder,
I'm not afraid.
when my words finally fall away,
Your peace remains.
when trust speaks louder,
I can breathe now.
when trust speaks louder,
I'm not alone, and my soul remembers. Faith is quiet, strong, and sure. I trust you without words, right here. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. I don't know what's coming next, but you do. Hey, I've been staring at tomorrow, trying to read between the lines. Every plan I try to borrow leaves my peace behind. I keep asking for a picture of the road I'm supposed to take, but the future feels too heavy for my fragile faith.
if my knowing isn't keeping me safe,
If control just feeds the fear, then maybe what I'm really needing is to trust you here.
I'm resting in what you know, not what I see. I don't have to understand to let you lead. I'm resting in what you know. I'm letting go. Peace is found when I release control.
Yeah. I thought faith meant clear directions, every step already planned. But you keep inviting patience to walk me hand in hand. All the times I try to hurry, You were teaching me to stay. There's a mercy in the waiting. I'm just learning how to pray. If you hold the full horizon, if you see what I can know, then this moment is enough for me to rest my soul.
I'm resting in what you know, not what I see.
I don't have to understand to let you lead.
I'm resting in what you know. I'm letting go. Peace is found when I release control. Every win and every why. If you're faithful with my future, I can trust you. Yeah, let my worship be my waiting. Let my faith be slow and true. I don't need to see the ending if I'm walking close to you. And I don't know. You know. Say it again. You know. I'm resting in what you know. I'm resting in what you know. You see it all. You won't let me fall. When my questions fade into trust, you're resting in what I can breathe now. My heart is home, and my soul remembers faith is resting, not control. You know, you've always known. I can rest, I'm safe in you.
I've been reaching for the language, trying to pray the perfect way. Every phrase feels out of order. Every thought just slips away. I hear my voice begin to tremble, like I'm saying something wrong. But the silence in the moment feels like where you belong. If you're listening beyond the wording, if you hear me when I sigh, then maybe I don't need the right words just to draw you near tonight. I don't need the right words, I just need you. I don't have to say it perfect for my prayer to be true. I don't need the right words, I'm here with you. And somehow that's enough to carry me through. quiet,
you hear me.
say it again.
You hear me.
Whoa.
I don't need the right words.
You already were.
I don't need noise.
You're holding me close.
My language falls apart, your love still shows.
I don't need the right words.
I don't need.
I'm not alone, and my soul remembers. Prayer begins where striving ends. I'm here. Where's my prayer? I'm here with you. I don't have a speech. Just a whisper in my chest. I've been standing at the doorway, trying to find the courage loud. Every promise felt so heavy, every vow too proud. I rehearsed 1,000 answers in case you asked me why, but all I had was shaking hands and a truth I couldn't hide. If you're not asking for perfection, if you're closer than my fear, then maybe all you're waiting for is what I'm bringing here. This is my quiet, yes, I'm here with you. I don't need the words I plan to be found by truth. This is my quiet, yes, I won't impress. I just open up my heart and let you rest. I thought faith meant bold decisions, clear direction, steady ground. But you keep meeting me in moments where surrender has no sound. All the times I tried to promise more than I could understand, you were never moved by speeches, you were holding out your hand. If your love is not conditional, if your grace is not impressed, then this fragile open offering is more than enough, I guess. This is my quiet, yes, I'm here with you. Ooh, I don't need the words I plan to be found by truth. Oh, yeah. This is my quiet, yes, I won't impress. I just open up my heart, let you rest, and let you rest. Forehead, forehead. I lay down every condition, every future I tried to guess. If you're faithful in the waiting, I don't need to say the rest. Yeah, yeah. Let my worship be my presence, let my trust be where I stand. I don't need a louder answer when I'm safe inside your plan. When I'm unsure, you know. When I'm afraid, you know. Say it again, you know. Yeah. This is my quiet, yes. This is my quiet, yes. When I stop explaining who I am, your peace surrounds. Oh, this is my